Hello everyone, and welcome to What If Deku Had Ice Quirk Part 5. Where we last left off, Izumi got a call from a doctor telling her to come to the hospital. So we're going to cut straight to there. She gets to the hospital, and a doctor meets her and greets her straight off. And Zumi's like, "What is going on?" And the doctor's like, "It's your mother. She's in a critical condition. She apparently did a mission." And Zumi's like, "Can I see her?" And the doctor's like, "Yeah, of course. She's stable, but we're worried about the long-term effects, but right now, sadly, she is in a coma." Zumi's like, still kind of can't, since she can't really show emotion, she's like, "I see." And the doctor's like, "I will show you to her room." So they meet up, and the doctor's like, "This is her room. We will monitor her and tell you if anything changes, but I will give you some privacy for you could visit her." And Zumi's like, "Thank you, doctor." And Zumi walks in, sees her mom in a coma, put in, the basic stuff. She has a tube going up her nose for breathing and all this sort of stuff. And all this is a little bit too much for Zumi. And she's like, has enough control over her powers, but the room starts to get a little bit cold seeing her mom in the state. But she kind of takes a deep breath and she's like, she's talking to herself and she's like, "How did this happen? I promise you I'll find out what happened. I will go to Grandpa and see if he knows anything about it." And yeah, she just sits there holding her mom's hand, and she's like, "I'll contact Grandpa when I leave and see what's going on." So that's what she does. She gives her mom a kiss on the cheek and leaves. And she tries to dial her grandpa, and it is going straight to voicemail. So she calls a couple times, still goes, the calls goes straight to voicemail. She's like, "I can't worry about this right now. I have to focus on getting into. I will try to figure out this on myself, but I need to get some rest." So next day happens. Oh, I'm sorry. Before the next day happens, she heads home, and as she heads home, she sees her uncle there, and Sorry, my mind goes blank sometimes. So she sees her uncle there. And the uncle's like, Izumi, coming back to see your mother, I presume. Izumi just nods. And her uncle's like, yeah, you got some bad news. More bad news, I'm sorry. Your grandfather, my dad. And he's like, maybe we should wait and go inside and I'll explain what happened. So they go inside. Sorry, I'm all over the place with this story right now. I'll try to straighten it up right now. So the uncle is like, listen, Zumi, I'm going to tell you what happened. So your grandfather asked me and your mom to help take down this Yakuza group. And we were caught. Basically, we thought we were prepared, but we underestimated them. And as you see, as the result of your grandfather's mistake, your mom is now in a coma in a hospital. And he pauses when he says this. You're the head of the house, or grandfather didn't make it out. And Osumi's like, well, does that make me the head of the house? And the uncle's like, when you turn 18, you will be the head of the house, because that is what my dad wants. But until you turn 18, I will be taking over as head of the family. Izumi is just waiting for just observing and listening. She nods. She's like, cause inside she's kind of angry. She's like, kind of thinks something's up because her grandfather wouldn't go down, one, that easy, and two, not thinking of every angle. So she thinks something's up, but she's going to keep it close to her chest until she has more evidence. So she just nods. She's like, thank you, uncle, for trying to help my mom and for telling me everything that has happened. And the uncle gets up. He's like, yeah, no problem. We're family after all. And he's like, are you gonna be okay here by yourself? You could always come back to the compound and stay there. Izumi's like, shakes her head now. She's like, I'm fine with this. If I really need help with something, I could just call on some of my neighbor Mitsuki to help. The uncle says, well, okay. If you have any more questions or need help with anything, just give us a call. And he leaves. And due to all this turmoil that's happening right now, even though Izumi, has to, is kind of keeping it cool, she waits until her uncle leaves the house, and Izumi just collapses on her knees and cries out for everything because, she just found out her grandfather died that she really looked up to. Her mother's in a coma, and her uncle is clearly up to something. So it just washes over her, and she collapses on her knees. She kind of freezes part of the house, and she just, through the stress and everything about that, her mind couldn't really handle everything right now, all processing all the information. So she just collapses on the floor and kind of passes out. So we're gonna actually cut. I know this might sound a little strange, and we'll do some stuff later on, but we're gonna do a small little time skip where we have Izumi about to do the about to go into, oh my god, I'm blinking a lot tonight, about to go into UA and all the stuff that happened in between. We'll kind of do a Naruto thing and do some flashbacks later on, but I kind of just want to get straight into the UA stuff right now. So we cut to UA. Izumi just walks up, staying very quiet, and she goes into the door. She doesn't do the comment of, oh, this door is big or anything like that. She just walks in, she sees the door, and she walks in, sees Bakugo and Ida arguing. She doesn't really pay them any mind, and Bakugo sees Izumi in the corner of his eye. Fully doesn't really say anything. He kind of heard what happened, but he is just going to keep his mouth shut for the time being, so he's going to give her some space. So we're just going to cut to where Aizawa comes in. He's like, okay, students, it took you way too long to be quiet. That is not gonna fly. Well, I'm your homeroom teacher. But we're just gonna cut all the theatrics, and I want you to get ready to your PA uniforms and meet me in the training fields. Ida raises his hand and says, sir, aren't we going to do orientation? And Aizawa says, like I said, this is my class and I run it how I want to do. We're going to do a small another quirk assessment to see how far you guys need to come. Now, enough questions. If you don't meet me on the training field in 20 minutes, I will expel whoever is late. And everyone gulps, rushes out, gets ready and meets and gets to the training field with time to spare. And I was always like, okay. He tosses the ball to Bakugo. He's like, you blondie, I want you to throw this ball as far as you can while using your quirk. Bakugo is like, sweet, and tosses the ball, and he's like, yells he's like, tosses it, and he's like, die. And I was always like, 800 feet, not bad. And a lot of people are getting excited because like we could use our quirks to help us with this test, and people are getting excited, like Kirishima. But it's like, this is gonna be fun. And Aizawa kind of says, quiet. If you think this is gonna be fun, then you got another thing coming. I'll put this out right now. Remember how I said if you didn't make it here on time, you would be expelled? And like, yeah. Well, I wasn't joking about that. I'm gonna add another thing to my rule. Whoever comes in last with these tests will be kicked out of the program right away. Everyone's gulped, and Uraraka speaks up and it's like, but Sensei, that's not fair. And Aizawa was like, being a hero is not fair. Do you think it's fair when a villain kills a civilian? No, and the hero's not there to stop it? No. Or rock slide disasters? No. Being a hero, you're gonna have to face a lot of difficulties in life. And if you're gonna cry that you might get expelled, then you're not welcome here. And everyone just it's kind of terrified about this, but except for Zimi, she's still deadpan. She's thinking to herself like, this is kind of more a ruse. So they do the test. The funny enough, Izumi gets paired up with Todoroki. So right when Aizawa says go for the race, Izumi and Todoroki make ice at the same time and escape to this to the end of the line. And Todoroki's like, another person with ice quirk. And he's thinking it's like maybe he's trying to like the father do something about this, know something about this. But yeah. So the day goes by, they finish the testing, and I was always like, okay, person in last place is Mineta. Mineta's just shocked and destroyed. He's like, no, I tried really hard to finish on top. He was like, no one beat me in the side to side. How did I get last? And as I was like, does his whole speech about this was a logical thing, a ruse, and no one's getting expelled. Momo was like, oh, that was pretty logical. Well, I'm sorry. Instead of Momo speaking up, it's Azumi. She's like, yeah, it's kind of logical that to motivate us, he would lie and sorry. Yeah, Izumi's like, it's pretty logical that he would lie to get us motivated to do our best. He wasn't actually gonna expel us. And Mom was like, yeah, you kind of beat me to the punch. It was kind of obvious. And we're just gonna cut. Azara speaks like, yeah, I wasn't gonna expel anyone. He's like, well, it is getting kind of late. And for your good hard work, you guys could leave early. He's like, but I want you. But tomorrow, I want you in at school on time. No lollygagging. And he just walks away. And Azumi starts to get ready. They kind of get out of their PE uniforms and all this other stuff. Azumi gets ready. She's putting on her shoes to go home. And she's like, once I get my license, I am finding out what happened to my grandfather and what really happened to my grandfather and my mom. And I'm gonna leave it off of that. So I'm sorry for not posting in a long time. I hope this makes up for it. I just wanted to get to the first day of UA stuff, so if anything's confusing, I apologize if this video is lackluster. I'm trying really hard to make these good. But thank you guys so much for listening. I appreciate it. I will try. I hate saying this, but I will try to post more. I'm trying. And thank you for subscribing. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.